Good morning students and welcome to the class. Today we are going to learn a new chapter in algebra, that is real numbers. Now in your previous class you have learned what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, what are integers and what are rational numbers. We'll just revise that once again. Now first, what are natural numbers? Natural numbers are nothing but counting numbers which is represented by the letter n, and you write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So natural numbers are nothing but counting numbers written as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now next you have got whole numbers which is represented by w. Now whole numbers are nothing but natural numbers along with the number 0. So you write it as 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So whole numbers is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Now next you have got integers. Integers is represented by the letter I. Now integers are nothing but collection of positive numbers, negative numbers along with 0, and you write it as -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So these are integers. Next you have got rational numbers. Rational numbers is denoted by the letter Q. Rational numbers are nothing but numbers which can be written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q belongs to integers and the value of Q will not be equal to, should not be equal to 0. So rational numbers are any numbers which is written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q belongs to integers and value of Q is not equal to 0. Now this rational numbers, whenever you are writing the rational numbers in the decimal representation, the decimal form of any rational numbers are of two types. The decimal form of any rational number are of two forms. So the first one is the terminating type and the next one is the non-terminating type. So the decimal form of any rational number is of two types, that is the terminating form and non-terminating form. Now what are the terminating type of rational numbers? Now suppose you divide any number by 2. You are dividing, so you put a point, you take a 0, 5 4s are 20. So the division is complete here, the division terminates here. So the value here will be 0.4. So whenever the division terminates or you get the remainder as 0, then such type of decimal representation or that type of rational number is called as a terminating decimal form. Now the next type you have got is non-terminating and recurring. Non-terminating and recurring decimal. The non-terminating recurring decimal, whenever you do the division goes on and on. Now suppose if you are dividing the number 2 by 3, you are dividing. So when you do the division, what you can observe here is, you put a point, you have taken a 0, 3 6 18, again you have got 2, 3 6 18. So the same number is continuing. So you write this as 0.6666. That 6 number keeps on recurring. So in short, you write this as 0.6. Any recurring decimal, whichever number is repeated, which number is repeated above that number, you have to just either put a point there, or you can also represent it by putting a dash on the top of the number which is repeated. So such type of numbers where the division does not stop and the same number keeps on repeating, such type of decimal form you call it as a non-terminating recurring decimal. So these are the two types of decimal form of any rational number. Now next you have got in your exercise how to find out whenever a rational number is given, how to find out whether it is terminating or it is a non-terminating recurring type. The problems that is given in the textbook next practice set 2.1 is classify the decimal form into terminating and non-terminating recurring type. So few examples I have take here and explain to you. 2 upon 11, 11 upon 6, 29 upon 16, 7 upon 25, 9 upon 10. So these are the few problems that I have taken where you have to classify them as terminating and non-terminating recurring decimal. So in your textbook they have given a note where very easily you can find out whether the numbers are terminating or non-terminating recurring decimal. So what they have told you to do there is each and every rational number's denominators, split them into its prime factors. So here 5 you can write it as 5 into 1, this you can write it as 11 into 1, this as 2 into 3, this as 2 into 2 into 2, 2 twos are 4, 4 twos are 8, 8 twos are 16 you get, and here you can write this as 5 into 5, and this you can write it as 2 into 5. So each and every, only the denominators split them into its prime factors, and if these prime factors are numbers 2 and 5, if the numbers are 2 and 5 in the denominator, if the prime factors are 2 and 5, then such type of rational numbers are called as terminating decimal fractions. Now here you have got the prime factors as 5 into 1, so it comes under this. So this is a terminating rational number. Here it is 11 and 1, so both these numbers will not come under this group. So this is non-terminating recurring decimal. Again coming here 2 into 3, again 3 does not belong to this group, so it is a non-terminating recurring decimal. Now coming to this, all these prime factors are 2, so it comes under this group, so this is a terminating decimal. So again coming to this one, 5 into 5, so 5 into 5 comes under this numbers, so again this is a terminating decimal. Again you have got 2 and 5 both present here, again this is a terminating decimal. So only this one, when you don't have 2 and 5 as the prime factors of the denominators of the terms, then such type of fractions are non-terminating recurring decimal. If you have got 2, or if you have got 5, or if you have got 2 and 5 both together in the denominators, that is the prime factors of the denominators, then such type of rational numbers are called as terminating decimal fractions. And the second type of problem that you have got under practice set 2.1 is you have to convert the given rational number in the decimal form. So here what you have to do is you have to just do the ordinary division that you have learnt in the lower class. Now for example, the number given is 2 upon 5. So just divide the number, point, you add a 0, 5 4s are 20 you get. So you have to write the answer as 0.4. Now suppose if you are dividing the number by 3, 3 3s are 9, you get a remainder 1, you put a point here and add a 0, again 3 3s are 9, so the division goes on and on. So you have to write the answer of this as 3.333, this keeps on recurring. So in short you can write this as 3.3 recurring. So this is the second problem that you have got in your exercise. Now the third problem what they have given is, they have given in a problem in the recurring decimal form. You have to convert it in the form of P upon Q. So this is the problem given 0.6 recurring. So this recurring decimal, you have to convert it in the form of P upon Q. So now to convert the given recurring decimal in the form of P upon Q, first let us consider, let x be equal to 0.6 recurring, the given problem. Now after point, if you have got one decimal place as recurring, then multiply the given expression on both the sides by 10. So when you multiply it by 10, you will get this as 10 into x is equal to 10 into 0.6 recurring. So now here you get this as 10x is equal to, now this multiplication when you are doing it, this is 0.666 recurring, this you have to multiply it by 10. So when you multiply it by 10, the answer that you get is 6.666 recurring, which can be written as 6.6 with a dot on the top of it. So this you can write it as 6.6 recurring. Now consider this as a second expression, consider this as a first expression. Now next what you have to do is subtract second equation minus the first equation. So subtract the left hand sides and subtract the right hand side. So left hand side you have got 10x minus x. On the right hand side you have got 6.6 recurring minus 0.6 recurring. So now this will be equal to 9x is equal to 6, because when you subtract it after point you have got 6 recurring, here also you have got 6 recurring, so that becomes 0, so you only get it as 6, and the value of x here will be equal to 6 upon 9. So cancelling it, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, but here we have assumed you have taken x value as 0.6, so you have to write here 0.6 recurring is equal to 2 upon 3. So you have converted 0.6 recurring in the form of P upon Q, that is equal to 2 upon 3. So this is when you have got one decimal place. I'll work out one more problem with the two decimal places. .17 recurring. So here you have got two decimal place recurring. So as in the previous problem, let us consider x is equal to the given value. Now after point you have got two decimal places, so you have to multiply it by 100. So multiply by 100. So when you multiply by 100, you get 100 into x is equal to 100 into 3.17 recurring. So now this will be equal to 100x is equal to, when you are multiplying by 100, this shifts to two decimal places to the other side. So this becomes 317.17 recurring. So here how you get is, you got 3.171717 recurring. This you are multiplying by 100. So this decimal shifts 2 digits towards the right. So you will get 317.17 recurring. Now you are considering this as the second equation and this as the first equation. Now you have to subtract 2 minus 1. So second equation, subtract the left hand side and subtract the right hand side. So you will get here as 100x minus x is equal to 317.17 recurring minus 3.17 recurring. So here 100x minus x is equal to 99x, and here when you subtract it after the point the numbers become 0. So when you subtract 3 from here, you will get 314. 7 minus 3 is 4. Now the value of x is equal to 314 upon 99, or you had considered x value as 3.17, therefore 3.17 recurring is equal to 314 upon 99. So this is how you convert a recurring decimal in the form of P upon Q. Now suppose if you have got 3 decimal places after the point, you have to multiply it by 1000. Now next you have got irrational numbers and real numbers. Now what are irrational numbers? Now suppose if the decimal representation of any rational number is non-terminating, non-recurring, then such type of numbers are called as irrational numbers. Now in the book they have given the value of root 2 is equal to 1.41421 keeps on recurring, and the value of root 3 they have given it as 1.732 keeps on recurring. So whenever you are finding out this value of root 2, root 3, and you would find it out by using the division method, the division does not stop, it goes on and on, but the numbers are not repeating. So such type of decimal representation, if it is non-terminating, non-recurring, such type of numbers you call it as irrational numbers. Usually all irrational numbers will be root of any prime number, root 7, root 5. So all these are called as irrational numbers. Now what are real numbers? Real numbers are nothing but a combination of natural numbers. All numbers put together is called as real numbers. That is natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, all combined together, everything you call it as real numbers. Now next, in the next exercise, you have got how to prove, that is they have given a problem where you have to show that the given number is an irrational number. To show that the given number is an irrational number, what you have to do is you have to consider it as a rational number and disprove your statement. So in practice set 2.2, the first problem they have given here is show that 4 root 2 is an irrational number. You have to prove that this is an irrational number. So to prove that it is an irrational number, let us consider, you have to assume, let 4 root 2 be a rational number which is in the form of P upon Q. You have to assume it is a rational number. Now from this what you have to do is root 2 is equal to, bring 4 to the denominator, you will get P upon 4Q. Now looking at this expression, you know that this is a rational number, and just now you have learnt that this is an irrational number. So the assumption that you have taken that it is a rational number is a wrong assumption, or it is a wrong statement. Therefore 4 root 2 is an irrational number. So you have to assume it as a rational number, disprove your statement, and then tell that 4 root 2 is an irrational number. Now the second type of problem that you have got in practice set 2.2 is to represent root 5 and root 10 on the number line. Now to represent root 5 and root 10 on the number line, in the previous class you have already learned how to represent root 2, root 3, you have learned how to represent it on the number line. So now here to represent root 5 on the number line, what you have to do is first you have to draw a number line. You are taking 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. So like this you are taking the values on the number line. Now to represent root 5 on the number line, on this number line from this point O, from this point 0, mark a point at a distance of 2 centimeters. So name that point as A. So we are going to name this point as A. At the point A you have to draw a perpendicular. Draw a perpendicular at the point A. And on this perpendicular, take a measurement of 1 centimeters and mark the point. So name this point as P. Now join OP. The next what you have to do is, using your compass, keeping your compass at the point 0, taking a radius of OP, cut an arc at the side. So you will get an arc here. So this point where the point where the arc is cutting the number line, that itself will be the value of root 5. So we will do the calculation and see how you are going to get this point as root 5. Now you know that OAP is a right angle triangle. Now using Pythagoras theorem, you get OP square is equal to OA square plus AP square. Now the length of OA you have taken it as 2 square, and the length of AP you have taken it as 1, so you get 1 square. 2 square is 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. that is OP square is equal to 5, or the length of OP will be equal to root 5. So when the length of OP is equal to root 5, you are taking the same radius to cut this arc. So this value also will be equal to root 5. So this is how you represent root 5 on the number line. Now if you want to represent root 10 on the number line, from this point 0, from the point 0, take a measurement of 3 centimeters. Take a measurement of 3 centimeters. At 3 centimeters you have to draw the perpendicular. Then on the perpendicular measure 1 centimeters and mark the point as Q. Now join OQ. Then from the point 0 take a radius of from the point O take a radius of OQ and cut an arc, and that value will be the value of root 10 on the number line. So this is how you represent root 5 and root 10 on the number line. The next type of problem that you have got in your book is write any 3 rational numbers between 2 numbers that is given. 2 numbers are given and you have to write 3 rational numbers in between them. Now you have got the numbers 0.3 and minus 0.5. Between these 2 numbers you have to write 3 rational numbers. Now 0.3 and minus 0.5, this is the smallest number. So I'll write the smallest number first. You get 0.5, and the other number I'll write it here 0.3. Now if you recollect the number line, you can write very easily the numbers that come one after the other. After 0.5 you will get minus 0.4, then you will get minus 0.3, I'll write it down here, minus 0.2, minus 0.1, then you can take it as 0, then 0.1 you get, 0.2 and 0. So like this you have got so many rational numbers in between these 2 numbers. Out of that you can write any 3, choose any 3 and write any 3 rational numbers between the numbers 0.3 and 0.5. So therefore the 3 rational numbers are from this you can choose any 3 rational numbers. So minus 0.3, comma, minus 0.2, comma, minus 0.1. So like this you have to write 3 rational numbers between the 2 numbers. So this is one problem. We'll solve one more problem of how to find out the rational numbers. You have got minus 4.5 and minus 4.6. Immediately after 4.5 the immediate number is 4.6. So as it is you cannot write the rational numbers in between them. In such cases what you have to do is add a 0 towards the end of the decimal fraction. So when you add a number towards the end of it, after 4.50 the next number that you get is minus 4.51. The next number you get minus 4.52, then you get minus 4.53. So like this you get you can write numbers till minus 4.60. You don't have to go on writing all the numbers, you only write 3 numbers that is lying between these 2 numbers. So these are the 3 numbers that lie between. Other than this you can write many other numbers. There are infinite numbers between this, but you only choose any 3 and write the numbers between them. The next you have got minus 2.3 and minus 2.33. So now you have to write the 3 rational numbers between them. Now suppose if I add a 1 0 towards the end, after this the next number that I get is minus 2.31. The next number that I get is minus 2.32, 31, 32, and immediately you are getting 33. So you are not getting 3 rational numbers between these 2 numbers. In such cases what you have to do is add one more 0 towards the end. When you add one more 0 you can get infinite number of rational numbers. So this after this the next number that you get is 2.301, then you get minus 2.302, minus 2.303. So like this you can write any 3 till you reach 2.330, you have got so many numbers. Out of that you can choose any 3 numbers and write 3 rational numbers between the 2 given numbers. So this is how you write the 3 rational numbers between any 2 given numbers. So this completes the exercise for 2.2.